Hey guys, I'm Luther and I'm here to check out Resident Evil 0. The origin story of the Resident Evil franchise. It's not the first game, but it's the game that precedes all the events of all the other Resident Evils. Thank you for that. It's really interesting going back to this game because this is the first Resident Evil I've ever played, by which I mean this is the first Resident Evil. I played Zero for the first time ever in 5 years ago, and since then I've played quite a few ones. I've played 2 remake, the Outbreaks, 3, but that's about it. I'm planning on getting on Code Veronica and 4 and all the rest that I want to play. We'll get to that. What I want to focus on first is this is an HD upres. This is a port of the GameCube version. That was the only version available for that generation. It was released now on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the PC for I think $20. Or if you buy the Origins collections, which has the way superior remake, it's about $40. It's got a few new extra costumes. That's about it. But one of the main features is it has alternate control scheme. I'm gonna start an alternate control scheme and show why you shouldn't play with alternate control. That shit is for babies.
A midwestern town in America, Raccoon City, a solitary island far off.
I love this narrator. It's such a Japanese American narrator. It's like we gotta have an American narrator. Let's make it the most Japanese-esque man ever. He's like his mid-40s, maybe 50s. He's got a kind of deep voice. He doesn't have an accent. It's such a Japanese thing to do something like that.
When was it established? By whom?
By whom? So yeah, again, Zero actually tries to connect all the Resident Evils together, like show the origins of what happened, which it kind of doesn't. Like it doesn't. It talks about stuff like the virus they found in Africa, blah 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 blah. Oh my god, that woman looks like a zombie. That woman looked like a monster. So yeah, they talk about the origins of Umbrella, how which character got where, and stuff like that. But it's got some problems, and we're coming up to the first problem right now. And that's our main antagonist. Look at this JRPG villain. Look at him. He's so dumb. But this is so cool. These leeches are fucking rad. Holy shit. Oh man. It's popping off. This is my kind of party. Yeah, let's go. And here we have the bad guy of this game. And he is really lame. He's just lame. He looks like a rejected JRPG villain. He looks like Sephiroth's brother. Look, I went to the same school as Kafka, and that looked like a pretty cool guy. And yeah, no, he looks dumb. There isn't really that much interesting going on with him. And here we have the main focus of our game, Rebecca Chambers. Oh no! What? How did the helicopter? What happened? It just kind of went fuck it? That's weird. Or did Wesker sabotage the helicopter? So yeah, this takes place before the original Resident Evil, and this shows Rebecca, one of the minor characters in the game. Yeah. Rebecca Chambers, and how she got in the mansion, how she ended up in the mansion. This is Star's Bravo team, I think, and I think Charlie or Alpha is sent out, which is Chris, Jill, and Barry and Wesker. Oh no, they're all dead. They're dead, Jim.
Captain. What happened?
And that dude is rocking some nice ass mustache. Look at that dad. And here we have the coolest fucking thing since Barry Burton. Billy motherfucking Cohen. This guy is fucking rad. There's not much to his character, but he just does cool stuff, and that's enough. He's a cool guy. He's calm and collected. He's cool. That scum. Yeah, the CGI in this scene didn't age that nicely. Rebecca looks nice, but all the rest looks kind of plasticky and weird. Like, compared to Remake, which came out a year before, it doesn't look that good. Compared to that, like, Remake's CG has aged very well compared to this. Oof. Oof. Ooh. Spooks! Spooks! Häagen-Dazs! Gotta get the spooks on. So, our remake was released last year during Halloween, and Zero just kind of came out. Yeah. The thing was, and people kept saying that, they said that when RE remake came out and Zero came out, and they're saying it now. But before I say that, I wanna introduce you to the Ecliptic Express. That's a great name, and this is the first part of the game, and I really like this part. So I'm gonna show you guys what the problem is with Resident Evil Zero's new alternate control scheme. So, Resident Evil is notorious for its tank control schemes, which I'm using right now. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm using this scheme right now to run and go. So, if you want to walk forward, you need to press forward, but if you press left, the character doesn't go left, it just turns left, and you need to press forward again. So, it's like a tank. It's literally like a tank controls. And a lot of people have a problem with that. It's okay to have a problem with that, but you need to adapt to these controls, because the problem with the analog controls this is my turn radius. This is how fast I can turn. I can do a quick 180, which is nice. The whole game is designed around these controls. Unlike like people said, oh, that's just because they didn't know what they were doing in the first Resident Evil and everything. But to be honest, they kept that scheme for 2 generations and a lot of games. They did this on purpose. If the first one was an accident, I don't believe that, but if it was an accident, this one certainly isn't. So here we have Rebecca controlling with tank controls, and the game is designed around these tank controls. Tight corridors, big open spaces where you can zigzag around shit. And then we have analog controls, which is the classic controls we all know for several games, like for every game. This breaks the game. This makes the game super easy. I'm not fast enough. This makes the game super easy. It makes avoiding enemies a breeze. Which that's the whole thing. That's the whole Resident Evil game. Placing yourself at the right point, so you know, like placing yourself like, I'm gonna place myself here because I know the zombies are gonna show up at this point in the screen. I can see them. We're a good distance. I know I can shoot them, or most cases just run around them. Oh God, he's dead. What's with all these dead people? Oh, he's not dead. He's not. Oh no! It's a vampire! So, so usually that's the whole game plan is shoot a zombie, get it down, get past it, or just avoid it all around by running around it. Now, the first part of Resident Evil 0 takes place in, a train, so there are small corridors and a lot of combat is required, which I think they did on purpose just to make sure your ammo is depleted well enough. He's holding something. Let's take the train key, and that's the other part of Resident Evil. I'm gonna go into that soon, but first Look at this cool guy. Look at how fucking badass he is.
Billy. Lieutenant Cohen.
Oh my god, he's got like that little like.
You seem to know me.
He's got those Clint Eastwood glint in his eyes, like those squinty eyes.
Transferred for execution.
You feel
Or with
lucky?
those soldiers
Bunk!
inside.
Oh, I see. You're with stars.
Stars! I love the way he says stars. It cracks me up. So you're with stars! Stars!
No thanks, Dollface. I've already warned Hank.
Oh, he's so cool!
Shoot, you know.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, whoa. I just love how Edward just jumps into the fucking into the train. I don't think Capcom realized how high that train is. He must have made quite a fucking jump to get in there.
The forest is full of zombies and monsters.
Zombies and monsters.
Oh no. Oh shit. And so here we have the introduction of Cerberuses, which were a pain in the ass in Resident Evil 2 and 1, but they don't really pose a threat in Zero because they're barely in Zero and they're pretty easily taken care of. Come on. So you see, I run to the end of the hallway so I can see where they are, and so I can take them out accordingly. That's the combat section of Resident Evil. For the rest, Resident Evil is actually pretty much a Metroid-like game. So you got, of course, this is Ecliptic Express, and you're not going to see a lot more than this. So it's not the best example, but it's the whole thing. Like, you see these red squares, they're closed doors. I can't go through them. I need a specific item, and I need to come back. So there's that Metroid backtracking thing going on. It's a major part of the game. Solving puzzles, these cryptic bullshit puzzles. Umbrella builds mansions, and it's like, oh, we need to have a flame key or a water key. It's really dumb. And from a narrative standpoint, but it makes for good gameplay. It makes for really good gameplay. And yeah, Zero is, oh, look at that. See, and that's what I love about the old school Resident Evils, is fixed camera angles. So again, another example, I don't have to fight, I just walk past them. Don't want to waste my bullets, or don't want to risk getting hurt. The problem with, not the problem, but what I really like about classic Resident Evil 0 is, the classic Resident Evils, excuse me, is their fixed camera angles, which are, first off, great, which can make the game look as great as it does. But they also have these really cool shots, these just really cool shots. Like you saw, you came in and there was a zombie. You couldn't really see him because his color palette kind of blended in with the background until he turned his face. Like they really know how to do cinematic shots, at least in gameplay. Stay alert. Yo, Enrico, my boy, you there? Apparently not. So, what else is there to say? Oh, no! More zombies. See, so if I were to turn, when I got in the train and I turned around and I went to that door, it said, it's locked. It's like something like it's locked. It has the emblem of a train on it or something. And then you find the train key and you're like, oh, I can go inside now. Okay, I really love this scene because they do some really cool shit with camera angles and the way the characters react and act with each other.
Cooperate with you?
Listen, little girl.
I never understood that choker thing she has on. There's no point. There's some pretty freak things on this train. So I love this shot, like the next shot.
I can handle this on my own.
It's obviously Billy is standing on the staircase. He's looking down at her,
What should
He's like, oh, you're just a little girl. You can't defend. You can't fend for yourself. And like he's taking the piss out of her. I love that shot where you actually see Cohen as more experienced and higher up on the chain, like looking down at her, and it also perfectly reflects how Billy Cohen feels about Rebecca at the start of the game. Alright, so another thing Resident Evil has, and this is what makes Resident... I don't think this one is of importance. I'm closing down the car, blah, blah, blah. So this is just info for a puzzle or something. But what I really love about the Resident Evil games, certainly the first one and Zero, is that the main story doesn't really matter. What happens to Billy Cohen and Rebecca is okay. But what's really important is the files. The files tell the backstory. They show what happens with characters around. Like, the first Resident Evil is great for that reason, because like, whatever, Barry, Chris's blood, we're partners, you know, Jill sandwich, whatever. Nobody really cares about that. What they do care about is the Spencer mansion, how it got built, who built it, like the notes you found talking where the architect is talking about how he built it, how he feels unsafe, how he fears for the death of his family. Oh shit! I guess that's a kind of a callback to the original Resident Evil, where you first find a zombie, find your partner being eaten by a zombie. Oh shit! Now this is also a great. This is also kind of a callback to the original Resident Evil. Is if you just knock the fuck out, you don't waste any ammo. You don't have to fight the enemy, and just the cutscene takes care of it. Oh no! And Billy Cohen saves the day. General Badass Billy Cohen. Look at him. Look at him being so cool. I love it. So dumb. Look at how cool he is. Oh, that's super goofy. That's super goofy.
Are you okay?
So yeah, what the best part about the Resident Evil series is like when you're in the Spencer mansion, you find these files about the architect who created it. He's like, oh god, they're probably gonna kill me. I fear for my wife and child, and that's what makes the story so interesting. That's what makes the lore and the history of Resident Evil, to a sense, interesting, but not the main story. Also, the singing thing, it's such a JRPG thing in a game that's so American. I know it's developed by... Look at this camera shot. That's a great example. But, again, this is... this game is... It's made by Capcom. It's made by Japanese people. Shinji Mikami, Hideki Kamiya. Those are the names usually associated with Resident Evil. But everything about Resident Evil is so American. Rebecca Chambers, Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Billy Cohen. They're very American names. You can't be like, oh, Jill Valentine. That might be French or Russian, or that might be just kind of something, or even British for example. Everything is very American. It's a small town called Raccoon City. Again, I don't want to repeat myself, but it sounds very American. So, what you got is a game with a very American motif. So putting in a JRPG character like that is really weird. It just doesn't fit. So here I have the main draw of Resident Evil 0, and that's 2-player control. Yeah. Spin me right, baby, right round like a record. Okay. So that's the main draw of Resident Evil 0 is you're gonna play with 2 characters at the same time, Billy Cohen and Rebecca Chambers. Billy Cohen is, of course, characters have their own specific abilities. Like Billy Cohen does way more damage, can take way more damage. He's the combat character. Rebecca can mix herbs and heal. So both of them have their uses, although Rebecca feels creepily underutilized at some points. Like, you can just kind of dump her in some safe spaces, and that's it. And just cross around with Billy Cohen until you need her, and then switch back to her. So, I'm going to just give an example. Like, now I'm playing as Billy Cohen. You're going to get split up at some parts, like this one. So that's also a thing that Resident Evil does, is like plan accordingly. If you play for the first time, it's a survival horror game. If you play for the second time, it's just, you just want to do better. You want to finish the game quicker, use less items, know when to use what. When you get your shotgun, you're probably going to use it on some enemies the first time or keep it for a boss. But then you learn, oh, this boss like can be defeated with 2 shots of the pistol if you do it right, or if you just go in this corner or shoot. Yeah, you know, stuff like that. So she can't get out. Train key. And I'm gonna put the train key in here. So yeah, like I was saying, the idea of like replayability in Resident Evil is very strong. There's nothing's gonna change or anything, but it's just you wanting to up yourself, like wanting to do better than your previous record. Run faster, be quicker, like use less healing items, use less saves, and like when you play Resident Evil for the first time, or you know, if you play Resident Evil for the first time, or a specific Resident Evil, like if you play 2 and 1, come on. Yeah, there we go. If you play 2 and 1 and want to continue and want to play 3 or something, you're gonna save a lot of times just to be sure so you don't die, use a lot of health items. And then the second time you play, you know the stuff, you know what's gonna happen, you know when, you know what, you know where, so you try to improve yourself on that. And that's basically how Resident Evil is why it's so much fun. Though, again, I gotta say, Resident Evil 0 is probably the weakest of the classic Resident Evil 0 games. There are a lot of problems with the game. Mainly one of the big problems with me is a lot of the enemies are just giant animals. Like there aren't any crazy lickers or anything. It's just giant animals. Oh, it's a giant bat. It's a giant scorpion. It's a giant centipede. It's... Like, Jan was cool because it was a giant spider, and then he had planned that, and oh. Blast through his ass. Oh, that's a lucky shot. So, let's combine that. Oh no, it's not necessary, this, right? So, let's take a quick minute to look at the costumes. We got like these goofy ass costumes. Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna play as Cody. Because why not, right? So right now Rebecca is locked away. We don't need her for the moment. We just need to find a way to get her out. But a lot of the game will be you switching around, knowing what character to use and when. I'm gonna try. And there we go. Continue on. Okay, so I'm playing this on easy difficulty, and I've discovered, like, Resident Evil 0 is one of the harder Resident Evils, apparently. Although I think Nemesis is the hardest, personally, because of Nemesis. But play this game on easy mode, and you just won't have anything to do. This game is shit easy on easy difficulty. Oh shit! I totally went the wrong way. Whoops. I like the Cody outfit. It fits thematically with him. Because he's a fugitive. Man, this fucking costume is super goofy. Run, 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 run. I think it's, yes, it's here. Let's go here. And take the key. So a lot of things you're gonna have to do with Resident Evils, like not that much with Zero, but a lot with the remake, which I like a lot, is just go to your items and examine the item and just look around a bit. It reads conductor room, so that's for the conductor room, which is all the other way, which I was just a few minutes ago. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know really what else to say about Resident Evil. It's a great franchise. I've only played the classic ones now. I'm planning on playing some of the new ones, at least 4, but I haven't gotten around to it. But the classic Resident Evils are great. They're great puzzle games. Well, they're great survival horror games with some neat puzzles, some great, amazing atmosphere, cool enemy designs for the most part. And in all honesty, like Zero just kind of falls flat on a lot of these elements in compared to the other Resident Evils. It's still a great game. It's still a great game, but yeah, it's just. Is it this one? It's locked. Nope. Okay, this is the one. Yes, there we go. Open. Then I'm gonna get an item here. I'm gonna have to bring that item to some other point, and that's the way the game actually works. That's the Metroid-esque design of the game. Even though in Metroid it's collect power up, use power ups through set entire game. I'm gonna leave this. I'm not gonna have to use this because I'm gonna restart my save file. So here's the map. So here you got a bit of an example of how of course it's a bit more linear because it's a train, but after the train is not the entire game. After a little while you'll go to a mansion, and then you get that Metroid-esque design. But the difference between Metroid and Resident Evil is with Metroid you get set item or power up. You use power up throughout the entire game to get through new places, while in Resident Evil it's usually an item which you get once and that's it. You use it and it's gone. Oh, we're coming up to our first boss fight already. Oh god, this I hope there's enough time to show him. Yeah, I think so. Run. Look at that, that's a great shot. Like, there's so many good shots in these games. So for anyone who hasn't played Resident Evil 0, this is a good time to check it out. I don't think you'll be disappointed or anything. I just think you'll be like, it's alright. Not as good as Remake or 2. Because to be honest, like, I love 2. Like, way more than I love Remake. Remake's a good game. Like, holy shit, is that an amazing game. But it's nothing compared to well, that's actually an overstatement. Like 2 is, I think 2 edges it out with a bit more. I think 2 is a bit better. Let's see what else you got. Is that it? No, I missed I missed the ammo for the shotgun. Yes. Alright, let's go. Let's do our first boss fight. And after that, I'm going to call it quits. Unless I have to do something else here. I totally forgot. It's also a thing like Resident Evil 1 and 2, and to a certain degree Nemesis, stick with you. Normally something should happen. Nope, I fucked up. I forgot something. Yeah, no, I need to get I think I need to get an ice pick around here. Yeah, 1 and 2 are so memorable in their level designs. 3, to a certain degree, 3 kind of blends in some areas. The street levels are kind of forgettable at some points. Where is it? Is it in here or is it around here? No, there it is. That's what I need. I need the ice pick. Oh shit, I don't have any room. Yeah, that's another thing. I totally forgot. Another thing about Resident Evil 0, which I don't like, is in every Resident Evil game you have these safe zones. There's safe spaces where you can leave your items in item boxes. And if you go to another space, you can get that item from the item box in that other space. In this game, you can actually just drop items wherever you want, which sounds okay, but it just makes the entire game a mess. It's like, oh, I got a grenade launcher, I'm going to drop it in this room, and then you play, and you get a whole lot further, and you're like, oh, I want to use a grenade launcher. Do I want to cross back half an hour of game, or do I just want to continue without the grenade launcher? I remember finishing the game without the grenade launcher, and a lot of ammo, and health items, just because I didn't want to go fucking back. And that's that's a huge problem for Zero. That's what makes Zero less enjoyable than the other ones. And that's its item system. It's dropping items everywhere. If you place them right, okay, but... Oh, also, this is Giant Scorpion. I totally forgot to mention it. Gotta be careful. Shit, I fucked that up. Reload. Just shoot it in its face. Crap. And I think it's that. Nope. Oh shit. Also, I really like to reload on the status screen because I don't have to go through the reload animations. It's like things like that make the game. Oh shit. Did I get him? Yeah, I got him. See, that's the thing that always got me in the old Resident Evil games back in the day was when fighting something like a hunter or anything, they have these death animations which take forever. I can't carry this item right now. So if I were to say like I'm gonna leave this, it doesn't matter, I'm not gonna continue this game so I can be a bit more messy with my stuff. But it's like playing this game and I'm like, oh, I don't have any room, I'm gonna leave the ice pick here. That means as soon as I need the ice pick, maybe before I need the hook thing, I'm gonna have to go all the way back here instead of having it in an item box. Like, I understand if you're coming from the idea of having to run to a safe area and do that, but believe me, this area is small. Once the game opens up, yeah, you've got a big problem, a big fucking problem. But that's about it. I think I'm gonna wrap it up around here. I'm just gonna switch back to Rebecca and I go, ooh, active partner sapping system switching, yay! It goes fast, so that's good. I had the hook thing and the ice pick. So what I do now is I go back to the kitchen and I sent the ice pick to Rebecca and she opens the door with that. So you just walk around here, I don't think there's any enemies around here now. I know, like, usually they don't respawn enemies in Resident Evil games, but they do tend to respawn enemies in Zero in some places, just to make sure that there's a bit of a challenge. Because, yeah, you just saw, there's a lot of running around and that's it. So, let's open this up, put the ice pick in. Yes. Ice pick. So one last thing I might want to mention, it's not that important really, but both characters have a different system of a different combat system in that when they're AI controlled, when they're with you and there's enemies in the room, Billy will automatically start firing at enemies, while Rebecca will only fire once you fire, so you can use those tactics to your advantage in any way, shape or form you want. So let's just jam that in there. Open the door. And there we go. Where do we end up? We end up right here. Oh shit. Fuck you guys. As another example, I technically don't need to be here. So just fuck these guys. I don't need to fight them. I can just leave them alone. Oh, we're so close. I can feel his body heat. Get over here! Ah, and together at last. Reunited. And it feels so good. That's gonna be it. That's gonna wrap up Resident Evil 0. We're just gonna have a little party right around here. Yeah! That's about all there is to show about Resident Evil 0, man. Check out the game if you want. Zero's pretty okay. I would actually suggest checking out Remake if you haven't. But that's about it. I'll see you guys next time.